Hey guys, D-Town After Dark. I'm going through my Subaru engine rebuild. So I had to sand the engine heads. I'll be talking about that in detail. And tomorrow when I wake up, I'll be actually finishing it and putting it together. I already have a car that I'm driving. This is just my second car to have for winter because it's all-wheel drive. Not a hard decision in Alaska. But uh I'll be going into what you have to do. A lot of people say just replace the gasket, drive on. Subaru engines, boxer engines, are very picky about how warped they can be. Subaru specifically, 0.002 of an inch is like the make or break. Anything larger of a gap in your engine heads, coolant's leaking, oil's leaking, air's leaking, just your engine's not a happy bird. Um, But just to start it off is taking the engine apart. Make sure you have a plastic scraper, um, metal scraper as well. I advise against it because if it's very easy to scratch aluminum, and then you can create a bigger problem than what you even started with, to where now the engine heads are just damaged beyond repair because you have a cut in it that allows coolant to just spit out. Um, Silicon carbide sandpaper is the best. Don't use anything else. It's high strength and it wears down with the metal rather than it wears the metal down and it doesn't get worn down. Because as you're sanding on those 320 grit, you are taking off a lot, but at least it's smoothing out with it rather than your aluminum block is just getting just shredded. Meaning it keeps the jagged on the aluminum block. Then you go to 400 to smooth it out. Then you finish with the 600 just to get it just sleek. And then you take the machinist tool, which is this. It's a flat piece of metal, but it's like perfectly flat. Like it's off by nothing. Like 0.00001 it has any bow, if that. And then you need a feeler gauge. Uh, Feeler gauge, which is these bad boys. And you can only be 0.002 of an inch. Nothing greater than that. Anything greater than that, don't be surprised if your coolant finds a way out. Even if you did the working of the head bolts correctly. You also need copper gasket spray. This stuff. This is exactly what I, and it improves the heat transfer, and that's what you want, because what you don't want is the heads to be cooler than the actual main engine with the camshaft. Is you want the uh, pistons and everything able to circulate that heat properly and efficiently to decrease warpage and stuff like that. There's copper plates on race cars, stuff like that, but that's a whole nother conversation. And I spray this on the gaskets and I put those to the side and let that copper coat, let it cure itself. Because what you don't want is to have this just be super wet and damp as you're transferring it, because then it could just fall into the ports and the copper gasket spray that you used has just been wasted. Um, and then on top of that, you get the heads in place, you repair or you replace the spark plugs while those blocks are out. The easiest way, um, NGK, nothing else. No other spark plug will do. I will shame you for having any other spark plug because those are the perfected spark plugs for Subarus and I think Hondas as well. Um, and then you want to replace the knock sensor. Subaru Outback. Engine. Replacement parts during head gasket. Replacement. So maybe this one will, it gives me a better shot. So these four right here, these four right here are for your spark plugs. Always replace those. These ones right here are strictly for your outside cover plates for your head gaskets. That's so oil and dirt cannot get into the heads. These are the head gaskets that you spray with the copper. These are for your air intake. Always replace those. And I use a white Scotch Brite when I just want to make sure all the gunk's off of the engine mount ports. And then these are for the valve stems. These are for when you're replacing components interior. This is for the uh, plastic cover that's on the front of the single overhead cams. Let me see here. Oh, it's a video. Nope. It's a crappy picture. Let's see here. It's basically that front black plastic part on Subaru engines. This is what keeps that sealed, and the water pump. This is your exhaust. That needs to be swapped. And then you also need stuff like I think it was like NOx. You need a NOx sensor. NOx sensor. And you always replace all three of your belts. So the two on the outside of the engine as well as your timing. Never reuse, even if it looks good, it's not good. What is it? You need your oil pressure switch on top needs to be replaced. Your knock sensor I would replace since it's all open, it's right there. PCV valve, I would replace that. You're right there, it's all open. And what else? Oh yeah, you want to use like exhaust grease. Exhaust grease. The high temp grease. And I mean, use it sparingly. Don't just be slabbing it all on there. Like I'm talking like dab your finger in it and then just lightly paste it all the way around it. There it is, exhaust paste. Exhaust sealant, I think it was. Yeah, gasket sealant, tack, high tack, stuff like that. Exhaust seal. No, that's for like permanent. Don't do that one. But yeah, I mean, you just got to get these seals. You also need a gasket seal for the new water pump. Replace your water pump. If you don't do it this time while you're in there, it's just going to be worse going in when it finally fails after you already did everything. And you're just not going to like it. You're just going to give yourself 2 times as much work for no real enjoyment. And then this is for the Subaru 25 head torque specs. There is one I have it print. There it is. Bam. This thing is Golden Goose. Where do I have it? Yeah, I have it actually. Let's see here. Bam. There it is. I want to make sure you see all the information. So this is for every Subaru that is still a single overhead cam. It says model EJ25. It still follows the same thing as a 2.5, even older. Make sure and tell you guys, I'll show you guys that. So yeah, I was correct. So it's the same thing as what I'd done all the time. But instead of A and B, I like the number one more. It just has a better follow through. I count in numbers. I don't count in letters. I don't know. If you count in letters, and you can go the other way. But yeah, 1, 2. So middle is 1 and 2. The left is 3, 5, and then the right is 6, 4. So it tells you first step is follow the bolt pattern, do 22, follow again, do 51, loosen again in the same order, 180 degrees, again 180 degrees. Then you torque it down to 31. Then you got to make sure this is where you can fuck up and you just cooked yourself. 80, 90 degrees, don't go anymore. 45 degrees, again, don't go anymore. The middle two bolts, because this is where a majority of your coolant and oil is going. I'll show you. Let's see. I should have stayed in images. And let's see who's going to give me boom. Here we go. So putting the pressure down heavy on this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 and 2 are the last two that you're going to super torque down. Look how large those coolant ports are that need it. Need it. Oil's right there. Coolant, 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 oil, oil, coolant, 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 coolant. So it needs so much pressure because the pressure doesn't pop until it's like what, 180 degrees. I mean, you have to think about something at 180 degrees that needs to pop open to allow coolant to flow through the car. So once you get this done, it's pretty much easy street putting the rest back together. You basically passed all the grenades. As long as you didn't scratch this, then you're safe. Now you scratched it, you're fucked. I mean, it's just, well, maybe not. As long as you didn't scratch anything. But for me, they had scratches like right here on this little corner down here, which was like, whoo. And that's really it. You're pretty much on the promised land, and you just keep going and putting it back together. But also, this is a time to where go easy, go slow. You don't want to strip a bolt at this point, or otherwise, you're just gonna be mad at yourself. That's it. I guess take care, have fun, Detone after dark, keep it clean.